Hey guys.
Are we live?
I think we're live.
Ah,
Good.
nice.
Welcome. This was a lot of work,
But we made it.
but we made it. We're here. We invited Timo Hoogland.
Thank you.
We always make a list of people we want to invite, and I put your name on the list, and then we actually found out that you were. Chris told me like, "Hey, that's my teacher from
From the HKU.
yeah, from the HKU."
From the HKU. Yeah.
Timo makes some fucking sick shit. He's a programmer. He's an artist. He's a maker. And today is going to showcase a program that you built yourself, Mercury,
Yes.
and then also showcase how it would work with live instruments as well.
Exactly.
So we're going to get into it. So thank you guys for tuning in, and let's get to it.
All right. Yeah. So I will play first some drums together with electronics. On the computer here, I have a live coding environment. It's called Mercury. It's an environment I built during my studies at the HKU, at the University of Arts in Utrecht. I started this project in 2018, I think. And since then it has gotten a lot of development. I've made many changes. But in general, this is the platform I perform with live. And what it does is it allows me to create electronic music with code. Later I will play specifically only with the code, so just laptop. But I will start with some pieces combined with the drums, because I'm also a drummer. And these pieces, for these pieces, I use the drums also to control some parts in the electronic sounds. And for that, I have some triggers on the drums, as you may be able to see on the cameras. There's this red thing here on the bass drum. I'm not sure how clear it is. And there's a red thing here on the snare drum as well. And these are so-called contact microphones. And they can measure the signal or the sound that I play on the kick and on the snare drum. And the hi-hat also has a little contact microphone here on the bottom. That can also measure the sound when I play the hi-hat. So yeah, I can explain a bit more later, but let's first play some music. Is the code visible enough, or should it be bigger? It's good? Okay, nice. That was it for the first 3 songs, I think. Yeah, I played 3. Um, Let me get a sip of drink first. Okay. Yeah. So, how do you want to do this? I just explain how it works. Do you want to ask some questions, or you prefer to let me just do the talking, or what works best?
So what I think we should do is maybe you talk a little bit about how you design the program
Sure.
and other stuff.
Yep.
The ins and outs. Maybe also how you connected it to the live instrument.
Yep.
And then along the way, I will probably have a bunch of questions.
Okay.
And then I will try to find the most relevant ones.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
And then maybe Chris in the back also will have some questions.
All right. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
So the screen is still visible, right? So that's okay. That's good. Yeah. All right. Let's start with the drums and then how everything works. Let me turn off a few things. Okay. So, like I mentioned, I have some triggers here or contact microphones. These red ones, and there's one below the hi-hat as well. And these are connected to my sound card, my interface that's over here. And that signal is coming in this this program that I have here. This is I use Max or Max MSP, as some people call it. It's a programming environment for creative coding, for programming sound, programming interaction, also programming visuals if you want. And in this case, this specific interface I built can recognize if I'm playing the snare drum or the hi-hat or the kick. So as you can see over here, if my mouse is visible on the screen, then when I hit the kick, you can see these spikes in the display. So this allows me to trigger specific sounds when I play the kick. And the same goes for the snare drum. Let me put this towel back on because it's quite loud. So you can see the snare drum comes in as well. I set the threshold quite high for the snare drum, so I have to hit it a bit louder in order to actually trigger something. See, so there was a hit when the yellow stripe is there. And if I play very soft, these are not registered as hits in the composition. This is a choice I made, so I can control more specific things with accents instead of controlling everything with all the snares I play. Because I like to also include some what they call ghost notes, like in between small notes. So if everything triggers when those ghost notes are there, that's a bit too much. And then on the bottom I have the hi-hat. So I can also trigger instruments with the hi-hat. So that's this interface. So I have just a bunch of parameters to decide the thresholds, like when should it trigger or when not. And I have this calibration over here that allows me to calibrate the velocity, like how loud am I actually playing. So now the hi-hat is quite soft, as the slider is all the way on this side. Now the hi-hat is very loud. You see the velocity goes more to the right side. So you can also use the velocity or the volume, the amplitude, to change things in the sound. So then I have this coding environment that allows me to add extra instruments like the synthesizers that you hear in the tracks, and those synthesizers are basically small pieces of code that I programmed beforehand. Like you can imagine when you compose a song, you have maybe some melody for a lead, and you have maybe a specific bass line for the bass instrument, those types of things. So I compose those beforehand in such a way that they can be combined in many different ways. So it can be more like a non-linear composition, because what I like to do is I just play drums and I let the computer decide what are the sounds that are going to be playing. and putting in some new synth or removing a synth or adding a bass part. I hear those sounds come back at me, of course, through the headphones, and that allows me to improvise on top of that. So all the songs that I just played, they are songs in the sense that I pre-composed these smaller parts, but the structure of the song, how it starts and how it finishes, and everything in between, was improvised here on the spot. So it's always slightly different, which I like a lot when I perform live. So it keeps it fresh for me also to not play everything the same every time. See what happens. Sometimes goes wrong, or sometimes I don't get exactly the result I was hoping for. But I think today was quite okay. I have to listen to the recording later if I still agree. But for now, I think it was okay. So what you see here, this program. Oh, and just to show, this is maybe interesting for the people who don't know what Max is. So this is just the interface, but the interface is the front of the software, right? So you can also go under the hood, and this is basically how the patch looks. So if you want to program something, you can program it in this software. I can put in some blocks, like just a random tutorial. I can get 2 numbers, and I can add the 2 numbers, and then I can get the result of that number, right? 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, this is the most boring piece of software ever, but that's how it starts. And then, of course, you can imagine that as soon as you know the basics, you can start to build your own software and make something that's that's unique to you as an artist or as a software engineer. So this patch that I have here, this patch is listening for specific patterns. So these are the patterns you can see in this matrix. Ah, here. Ah, okay, yeah, nice. So it's listening for these specific patterns, and if I play a specific pattern like that, then the computer will respond to it like we're kind of in a jam session. So I can play, for instance, this pattern, number 1. And if I play that, then the computer will add a sound. I don't know what sound, but it will add a sound. So I can briefly demonstrate. So let me just clear what I had before. And then, for example, we can say in the same track. So I'm listening a click track. I'm hearing. So I know where we are in the bar or in the measure, in the composition. And if I decide to play a pattern, let me try to get both of these things in the same, so you can see. Here the pattern will show up that I play. So if I do, you see that it's recognizing the pattern. Those types of things. So what I can do is I can try to play one of these patterns. See, and now it recognized my pattern and it adds this instrument. And I can also decide to let it change this instrument. If I do it correctly. There we go. So now every time I do this, it changes the instrument. Etc. I can also remove it again if I play a specific pattern for removing instruments. And then it goes. So I have these some patterns are also like this number 7. I don't know what's going to happen. The computer is deciding. In general, I don't know what instrument is going to be added. So that's something the computer always decides. But I can choose to say, okay, I want to remove an instrument. Like if I want to slowly fade out the composition or the song, I can let it remove instruments every time.
Okay, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I get all the commands like change and add and remove. But then for 7, the pattern decide. He says the computer decides.
and you don't know how. But
Well,
is there like there is of course a command for the is it a randomized
yeah, I programmed a so-called Markov chain, which is it's a table of possible transitions. So if it is in a specific point, then there's this much chance that it will add something, and there's this much chance it will remove something, and there's this much. So it's called the transition table. Like say the simplest transition table could be the weather. If it's raining, there's so much percent chance it's going to be dry, and there's so much percent chance it's going to also thunder or something.
yeah.
But then while it's thundering, there's maybe more chance that's going to be dry afterwards, right? So the probabilities or the chance changes every state you're in.
Yeah.
So
there is kind of a structure to it.
yes, there's a slight structure to it, but it's also random, but it's not 100% random.
Yeah, there's a structure, but there's no way to predict the structure itself.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so if I let the computer decide things, then then we'll see where it goes. But also when I ask it to add or remove or swap something, I only know that it's gonna swap something, but I don't know what. So this also forces me to listen what's happening actually, and how do I adapt to that.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and sometimes I think what I enjoy a lot is when it makes decisions that I'm like, this would also be my choice or something. Like we're kind of in.
Yeah, I mean you're the one who created it. So
yes, but that's the I mean there's still chance in there. So
but
the response is not literally how I
no,
would
of
do
course.
it.
But I can get like the maker, the intuition of the maker is somewhere in there. You know?
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Of course,
cool.
this program is kind of a reflection of my thoughts. Of course, because
and your process.
I designed it. Yeah. So it could be, you could see it as a copy of me in that sense. Yeah. So that's interesting.
iRobot.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not so sophisticated as this is a very simple piece of software, or simple in the sense that it's not like nowadays these massive AI models, for instance, that are much more complex and trained on so much information. And this is me specifically deciding like, you can do this and then maybe that, and when you do that, you can maybe do this, and then I built that whole piece. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's how it works. And then we get into Mercury. So Mercury is not necessary. Mercury can be used without this whole drum setup. Mercury can also be used just standalone, which I will do in a little bit. But one thing I wanted to show briefly, maybe if I have a good, like I can try to let it, wait one sec. Let's go to track number 1. And let me just add the click track so I can listen. I'm gonna see what it adds. See, so it added this bass. I will show a bit later how all this text actually works. But the one important part that you see here is this part where it says the time is free and it responds to the kick trigger. So this allows me to make this synth respond to the specific thing I do on the bass drum. So if I hit the kick, we hear this synth come out. And if I would change this to, for example, the hi-hat, then it responds to the hi-hat. So that's kind of how I make sure that I can also control specific instruments or specific sounds with just playing the drums. Sometimes there are sounds that are kind of running on their own. They just have a pattern, they just have some rhythm, some melody. And other times I have sounds that specifically respond to the bass drum or the snare drum or the hi-hat. It depends. For some sounds I like it better when they just work on their own and I can improvise on top of it. And for other sounds it works better if it kind of matches very closely to what I play on the drums. So this is just also a matter of composing when I rehearse, like does it make sense to connect this to the hi-hat, or does it make more sense to connect it to the kick or the snare or to nothing? Yeah, so that's how this works. Maybe that is for now enough about this software. I'm also looking a bit at the time. Unless you have a bit more questions, then let me know. But otherwise, I think maybe we do a quick changeover, and I'll just do a short improvisation with just the Mercury software, just live coding only, and then I can explain a bit more what the software actually does and how that works. All right, let's do a quick changeover and move my laptop to the stage over there. I only need to move the interface as well.
Yeah. You can grab me, or you can give me anything.
Wait, ik kan de interface even uitprikken. En dan kunnen we dit met de HDMI-kabel. HDMI-kabel zit er nog in. Ik weet niet hoe lang die is, lang genoeg?
Erg lang.
Ja.
Oké,
nice.
Zo.
En dan haal ik even de interface eruit. Deze kabels zijn dan weer iets minder lang, maar misschien kunnen we ze even hier integreren. Ja, die mag. Die is lang genoeg. Ja, precies, dat is nice.
Zo. En dan ga ik.
Ja, ja, het is wel. Hoe wil je het nu doen? Want nu kunnen we op zich de... Oké. Deze hier wil. Ja, precies. Ja, dat we niet feedback krijgen. Oké, sommige dingen kan ik even uitzetten. Dat kan weg, dat kan weg. En de M6 staat aan, mooi. Oké. Ja, één momentje. Ik moet even dit scherm nog openzetten. Oké, daar is iets. Oh, wacht, ik doe wel even dit. Ja. Alright.
Als je wil praten.
Nou, I think I'll just do a short improvisation of 15 minutes. And then afterwards, we'll look a bit at how it actually works again. All right. Ooh. Let me move this a little bit. All right. Ah, yeah, I can hear myself also. Good. Okay, so this was what they would call a live coding performance. So the idea is that the electronic music that you hear is created in real time by the person performing by typing code. So oh, this stand needs a bit more tightening. 1 second. Okay. Hopefully this stays. So what I wanted to do is show you a little bit how it works. I'm not sure if you already have questions, but otherwise I can just give a little tour of the
I had one
environment.
question.
You have a question?
Let me just get out of my hole.
Yeah, that's a that's a good idea.
For everybody who didn't see me, I was hiding.
Hiding in the corner of the studio.
Yeah, I think maybe maybe you can show me because I pretend to understand everything.
That's a good start.
How does it work when you? So of course you write a command, but then some of them they don't immediately initiate. Like it's not like enter and then it starts. Of course you have like a fade in.
Yeah.
Which command is that? Because I saw like set lead time, something like that.
Ah, right. Okay, this is a nice place to start. Wait. First, so this is this version that I have here is a version I use for performances, but there's a different version in the browser where you can go to. It's called Mercury Playground.cc.
And this is accessible for everyone?
Yes, is open.
Open source, guys. Check it out.
It's open and free. This is the website. Here there's already some code, but I'll remove that. So if you just want to get started exploring it yourself, then the website is the easiest way to get started. So you don't have to install anything. You can just go and make some sound. There's some buttons for playing, pausing, removing things, some examples. I'm not sure how loud this is going to be, so I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. But if I click example... wait, this is not...
Oh, it's on your...
It's still on my laptop speakers. 1 second. This has to go also to the interface. Okay. So, for example, that, or some drum beats, many more examples. And on the bottom, there's some other things like the list of tutorials if you want to start learning how to program specific things. Of course, a help button if you need help. This opens the documentation.
I was just going to say, what does that do?
Yeah. This opens the documentation so you can find specific things. Let's go back to this one. Okay. So the thing is, say I want to play a kick. So I'll say I'll make a new sample and I call it kick. The name depends on the sound that you want to use. So it's just the name of the file basically. There's a bunch that I included by default. These are from Freesound, for instance.
Free samples, guys.
Free samples, yeah. I mean, I didn't make them myself. So if you want to know where they are from Freesound. I have links to all the specific people that made them. So you can find the original sample pack if you want. You can pre-listen here. So maybe I want a clap, or maybe I want this one, or I don't know, a hi-hat or a kick. We were going for a kick, I remember. So maybe I want this one. Sounds good. Okay. So you just have to remember the name, or you click add to code, and then it pastes the text in there, but then you have to keep track that you have it correct. Okay. So now if I want to hear it, then I have to evaluate the code, or sometimes they call it execute or run. And by doing that, you can click play, or you can do the short key, which is option enter. There it is. Okay. So if I make any changes, like say I want to play this in quarter notes and I want to set the tempo to 140 or something, then you don't hear it immediately. And the reason is that it's a bit annoying that while you're typing, it's already doing the things that you're trying to do. So you have to give it explicitly this command again to evaluate it. So say I want to make some changes and I want to include some little hi-hat. Let's say 909. Okay, fine. So I can type 909. I can make it into 16th notes, so it's 4 times faster. And I can change the volume a bit, the gain. Like for example, I can randomize it. And I can randomize it, for example, to say I want 8 random numbers between 0.2 and 0.7. So what this does, it will create a list of numbers, 8 numbers, and these are randomly between 0.2 and 0.7, and that gives different volumes for the hi-hat. So if I now evaluate this, then you will hear all the changes I made. So I can exaggerate this a bit, so you can hear the amplitude of the hi-hat change, for example. Maybe I'm done with the hi-hat or with the kick. I can just delete it, of course. You can also comment it by putting 2 slashes in front of it, and then the text is grayed out. So that means if I now evaluate, the kick is gone. But it's still there. So if you want to make during a live performance some kind of break or some kind of drop, that you can prepare some code that is commented. It's there, but it's not running. And then when you think you're ready, you can uncomment it, and then it comes back in.
So then we get to my initial question, which is how do you make this non-instantaneous? So, for example, you want to get rid of the kick, or you want to put something new in there, but you want to bring it in gradually, so it's not like and then it's gone, or
so there's some features like you can use reverb to let things fade out. You can put some slides on the amplitude, there's some small differences though between this version and this, but what I did here, for example, I said put the gain at 0, but use 2 bars to slowly fade that out, for example. And that made it fade out. And the same goes, like you can evaluate something, and I can put the gain at 0, and then it's not there, and then I can let it slowly ramp up or something. Like you can say, okay, slowly go from 0 to 1. In 32 beats, for example. Yeah. Okay. So there's different things you can do, like, and also, for example, if you want to make a specific rhythm or a specific melody, what I would do is, say I want to have a rhythm for this kick. Let's go back. I'll just do this. That is more complicated than just 4 on the floor. Then what you can do is you can make a specific list. I can say list, kick, beat. The name is something you can choose yourself. And then I can make a list of 1s and 0s. And if I play that at a specific time, so now it's like it's rotating through this list at the speed of 16 notes. And if it sees a 1, it will trigger the note, and if it sees a 0, it will play a rest. So you can make a very specific kick pattern like this. Or if you don't want to type everything in manually, then you can also use other functions. Like I can say Euclid, which is a Euclidean rhythm generator. That's quite famous way to generate specific rhythmical patterns. You can make polyrhythmical patterns, exactly. So I can say, okay, over 16 steps, I want 7 hits. So what that looks like, if I print that, is we get this specific list here on the bottom.
And then the functions, can you find those anywhere in there?
Yes, yeah. So that's where the help comes in. So if you go to help, and then you can click reference, in this case specific list functions, then you can find all these functions that or many more.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah. So this is all a combination of many ways to create algorithmic compositions. And I've been studying this for a long time and slowly adding new functions every time that I find that are so here's the Euclidean rhythm generator. That's a very famous one that you'll see also if you're into maybe modular, or if you use Ableton. There's also devices that have Euclidean rhythm generators. So, but there's a few others. One that I like a lot is the hexadecimal beat, which allows you to create rhythms by typing hexadecimal numbers. So how that works is
that what you were doing before with the 1011? Or is it something else?
No, I don't think I used the hex beat in my previous run. But I also can't remember specifically. I don't think so. But how it works is you can say, okay, I want the hex beat, and then like a 0. Wait, this is getting maybe a bit too deep in the software, but maybe it's fun. So hexadecimal numbers can represent 4 bits. So with one number or with one character, you can actually represent 4 characters. So the hexadecimal numbers go from 1 to F. So 0 up to 9, and then A, B, C, D, E, F. Like maybe you remember from using colors that white is like F, 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 F. And black is all the zeros, and that's because you can represent a larger number with a hexadecimal number.
So instead of a hex code for color, you have a hex code for
rhythms. Exactly.
For rhythms.
Yeah. So if I do F, then I get 4 fours or 4 ones. If I do 0, then of course I get 4 zeros. If I do A, I get this one. If I do C, I can get that one. So what you can do is you can write like a word, café, and then that gives you a rhythm, or you can do some other word, face, or face, café, dead, deed, and then you get like some gigantic rhythmical pattern that you can use. And we can play this with a kick and a hi-hat, maybe with a snare drum. And now it's playing this pattern, but also it's looping through this little list of sounds. So the first one is a kick, and then there's a snare or hi-hat, sorry, and then there's a snare, and then goes back to the kick. So this is for rhythms. If you want melodies, then we would go to use some synthesizer like a sawtooth, and then you can play notes. So this gives us a little sawtooth synth. And all these things still apply, so we can also create some rhythm for it. Synth, rhythm, Euclid.
If you want to use this, you do need to be good at typing.
some typing experience would be helpful, but you can type slow. That's okay also, or make typos. Oh no, this is correct. Yeah.
What happens if you do make a typo? Does it still register, or then the function doesn't work? I'm assuming.
Depends on what the typo is. If you like make an actual syntax error, like the code can't run, then you'll just see a red flash, like there's an error. If that happens, the code that was running before is still playing. So if I play this music and I make an error, then it just continues what it was doing, so it doesn't break. If you make like a typo that is maybe less of an issue, like maybe you type the word wrong or something.
Synth rhythm.
Yeah, or I miss all my H's or something. I don't know, like this. Then like it can't find this specific thing because it doesn't exist, so it just sees nothing, and then it just plays nothing. So now the synth, it's technically not an issue because you can just still create the synth.
Yeah, you're not ruining it. You don't hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
just
that's
worried about my dyslexic friends.
Well, you don't have to make the word. You don't have to make the name so long. Like I can also just say, I don't know, S1 or something, and then just do. And then like it doesn't have to be super complicated. Speaking of dyslexic people, I have a font for dyslexic people in here also, which is a very nice font that was designed specifically for people that program but are dyslexic. So that's in there. So if you have
there you go, problem solved, Chris.
you can still use that font, and the other fonts are more like, I don't know, some are
You have a
more
bunch
like
of them also.
aesthetically interesting than.
I love that you really went into the the design of it as well.
Yeah, I mean the design is also, especially if you perform live with it, it's nice to also look at something that's aesthetically interesting. So
I
I
mean,
think that's also a
of
big
course
part
you're
of it.
performing with it live, but then a lot of people just write programs also in Max MSP. It's
Yeah.
you start with the bass and then you're designing the program and not so much the interface. But
true.
this is already like
This is much more focused
yeah.
on the programming is part of the performance, so then the programming should also have some, or it doesn't have to, but it's interesting if it has some aesthetics to it as well, I think. Yeah. So you can change the font, you can change the color as well, so you can make it more personalized. And if you want, you can have visuals running behind this as well, which is slightly more advanced. But there's this other programming language for visual specifically. It's called Hydra. It's made by someone else. Olivia Jack is her name. You can program with that as well. So it looks like this. This is a separate website, but I asked her if it was okay to include it in my environment as well, and that was okay. So what you can do is, I can, for example, if I have this this kick again, I can give that kick a specific visual. So I can say, okay, the kick has some noise. This oh, what's happening? Oh, new sample kick. See, so you get at least some kind of error message, so that helps. See, so this is the visual that belongs to the kick. Let's play it a bit slower. And now say I want also a visual connected to the snare. And I'll play the snare in between the kick. So if I do this now, there's no visual yet, but right, so it alternates. So if I then connect a visual to the snare, you can maybe imagine what's going to happen. So let's say we just do a simple gradient. So you can synchronize the visuals that you code with Hydra to the pattern that you create with the music. And of course, if the music gets very complicated and many things are happening at the same time, then it's more difficult to know which visual will be visible in the front. But it's a nice start.
And does it mess up your computer as well? Like if you go overboard with all the commands?
Well, I mean, of course, there's a limitation. So
yeah, depends on your laptop as well.
It depends on your laptop.
Yeah,
it depends also on the browser. Not all the browsers handle the sound the same, it seems. I'm using now. I mean, in general, Chromium-based and Firefox work okay, but I don't know. Sometimes it seems that if you have more tabs open, for example, then it interferes maybe. And also, the browser wants to be in the front. So if you move it to the background and do something else, then it might drop some processing, and then the music gets laggy or things like that. So, but in general, it works, but there's definitely limitations, and when you will hear it when it's there, because it starts to crack and break, and yeah. But for some general basic music parts, usually it's okay. Like. So. And this is three instruments, so it's not so heavy. Just a lot of sound design on top of it, like different effects, like distortions, fuzz, reverb, filters, those types of things. So that's something I didn't show so much yet, but if I have a synth, like if I have this synth, I can also just say, just play it continuously. Then we can start designing the sound a bit more, like we can add a filter, low pass, for example. Or we can create a super saw with multiple voices with some detuning, like unison playing. Right. And we can add some reverb on top of it, maybe. So this is the volume of the reverb and the room size. So some LFO. Like if you want, you can. It's maybe a bit fast. So you can also really focus on the sound design and then maybe use that, or you can, like when I play live, I like to mix it, of course, make some melodies, but also make some sound design. But sometimes the sound design takes a lot of time to write because you need all these different effects stacked on top of each other. Yeah.
Is there a way also to bring, like, for example, you designed a certain sound and then you bring it already into the program?
And
then you
well, it
start with
depends. Like you can add your own sounds. So if you have, just like with the percussion sounds, the kick and the snare, if you have just a recording of your sound, you can just include it, of course. I've now been playing mainly kick and snares, but there's other types of sounds in here as well, like some chimes or kalimba or marimba or I don't know, some harp. Some break beats, of course. So if you want an Eben break, you can just create a loop with, like, if you have a loop of a specific amount of bars, you can just insert a loop and then let it play. Or then from there you can start re-triggering it. And then you can say maybe start at 0 and then at a half. Or maybe at 75. Maybe randomize this. Maybe create a shorter envelope.
Is there a grade or granular function? Come again?
There's not now at the moment not a specific granulator like what you would have in a DAW, but you could make your own granular type of sounds with the sampler by just triggering the samples very fast, and you can have from the sample and from the synth there's also a polyphonic version. So then you can create overlapping sounds.
What does that? What does that mean?
Polyphonic
Yeah.
version. Yeah. Let's look at that for a little bit.
It's cool words.
So if you have a polyphonic synth. Okay, wait. Let me back up one step. So if I have a synth, a sawtooth, and I have this note. It's a bit high. Let's play it one octave lower. Okay. What if I want to make a chord, like I want to play 3 or 4 notes at the same time? I can decide to just copy this line and then say, okay, then I want this note and I want this note. And then I have a chord. But this takes up a lot of processing because you generate a new synthesizer for every note that you want to play. And if you have, I don't know, 8 notes that you want to play at the same time, then it gets quite heavy. You have 8 synthesizers. It is a nice idea because you can also change the timing maybe, but if just what you want is the notes at the same time, then we can also choose to create a polyphonic synth. And the idea of a polyphony or polyphonic means that you have multiple voices within the same synth. So you can actually use multiple oscillators that all have their own frequency or their own note. And they play at the same time.
And then it's all one command.
Yes.
So it doesn't take all the processing power.
A bit less.
A bit
I mean,
less.
there's
Yeah.
always a bit more processing power because you have multiple voices, but it doesn't also create extra sequencing for triggering the notes, and it doesn't create extra amplification and other complicated extras that you need for all these individual synths. So I can make a chord in here, or maybe I'll type it as a list up here. So this is my chord. 0, 3, 7. So I can, where are my fingers? There. So now we have exactly the same, with the benefit that I can start sequencing different chords. I can for example, I can say repeat this. for example. So that's the polyphonic part of the synth, and then there's also a poly sample, and that allows you to create overlapping samples. So if I have instead a marimba, I don't know the exact name, C4, for example, marimba C4. So then you can create the same chord progression, but with a sample of a marimba or a piano or something else. Of course, now it's very dry, but then if we add some reverb, maybe a little delay. And then slowly you get to a point where it becomes a bit more musical and interesting. Yeah.
And then like scroll back like 15 minutes, and then you then you end up where you were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, of course, it takes practice to really perform with it, and for me, it's easier to say because I designed it, so I know exactly how everything works. And of course, I know when I teach this, also I give workshops in this language sometimes, and there's some other people using it. Like more often, I know that not for everybody it's so obvious how some things work, but I tried to. This is not the only programming language you can make electronic music with. Of course, there's a bunch others, and I tried to make this one slightly more simple in the sense that you have to. From a musician's perspective, you just think more in terms of the sound, like what do I want with effects, what do I want with rhythm, what do I want with notes, while other languages have those things slightly more complicated. But it also depends from if you come from a computer music background or if you have more programming experience, then these other languages might be interesting as well.
I mean, I think even with no background in either computer code or music, I think this is really accessible anyhow. Because you built the interface, it's very fucking overzichtelijk.
Yeah,
it's structured.
It's clear and
you know where to go. You have a bunch of tutorials. There's a bunch of info available,
yeah.
which is also available through the web app. Sick.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything we missed? Like we showed a lot already.
I mean, there's a lot of things, of course, but
something you think we should still show?
I think one thing that is definitely nice to note is, especially for the people that already make music and use, for example, synthesizers like you have here. There's also options to send MIDI out or to get input from external things. So then. Especially what I notice when people that are already making music with Ableton or with some other tool, they sometimes find it interesting, but then they stop using it because you're already using Ableton. It's hard to switch from tool, and I don't expect anybody to leave Ableton behind for this. But you can integrate it. So you could design some code that generates some rhythms, some melodies, whatever you like, and then just send the MIDI out. And you can send the MIDI to Ableton, but you can also send it to an external synthesizer, or both at the same time, for example.
And then for the people working only in Ableton, I do suggest get out of the software once in a while, just so you don't go insane, because it can be overwhelming to work only in these kind of DAWs.
Yeah.
So and then when you're actually physically playing an instrument, it does something to you, you know.
Yeah.
So and the same goes for this. I mean, you're actually working with something else. You just need a different medium once in a while.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting to try different software to just get new ideas and make things a bit more fresh. Otherwise, you're always stuck with the same. Maybe you have this workflow of always adding the same devices and the same things. And I have that issue also with my software because at some point I'm performing a lot of the same things because you get so used to typing the same synth or the same rhythm, and that's where the drum piece, when I started doing that was very refreshing also to make me think completely different about how I use this software. So that helped a lot to get a bit out of the loop of doing the same stuff all the time. But it's very much in development also, so new things get added now and then. So if you're watching and you think this is interesting, you can go to the website. It's mercuryplayground.cc. and from there you can use it. It also works on the phone, so if you want to have some random jam in the train, then you can try. The typing on the phone is a bit annoying, but it runs. Or something nice to note maybe is when you program something here. Say I have this. This is what I made. Amazing. If you want someone else to have this, the code is stored in the URL. So if you copy exactly the whole URL from beginning to the end, so don't miss any character, then you can send that URL to somebody, and when they click on it, it loads the code that you typed, so they can listen immediately to what you created. The only thing important to note is that if you added your own sounds and then you send the link, then it doesn't work because the sound is not included in that link.
You need the source files.
You need the files also, yeah. But if you just use the files that are in here or just the synthesizers, then it works for sure. And besides that, there's some buttons to save, of course, the text or to record the sound while you're playing, so you can use the sound later. Which is, for example, something I do a lot, like the tracks that I have on, for example, streaming services. They are usually live coded performances that I just recorded completely. So that's half an hour or an hour of music. And then later I just cut out the parts that sounds okay. And then I added that into a track of 5 minutes, for example. That's for me that works works very well, because I'm not so much somebody who works in a DAW and put everything on a specific location and then make sure that it's all aligned and there's the chorus and the verse and that.
I feel also you're not making this kind of music.
No, no, it's also not the type of music I make, but
yeah.
also it doesn't fit with my.
Yeah, if it was supposed to be a radio hit, then maybe, but this is definitely not. This is something else. Yeah. This is not 538. Go fuck, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So maybe one important thing to note. I've been developing this for a long time, of course, and I've also had some funding for that. So Stimuleringsfonds, for example, and Creative Coding Utrecht also supported me a lot. So that's. Lots of thanks to
Thank you guys for making it possible.
For accepting my proposal.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was
giving me funding to develop
these
types of projects.
Then we'd like to thank the forklift guy for making this possible, securing the
yes.
Our boy Jelmer. He facilitated the drums.
Thank you for the drums. Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's it for today. No? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking a lot, so
yeah.
I don't even remember if there's anything we missed. Maybe we missed a bunch of things, but
I think this.
In any case, if you wanna follow me, let's do some little plugs then also. I have a website, of course. It's timohoogland.com. Here you can find many of my projects and also the upcoming shows. And if you are more interested in the live coding in general, there's also a community in the Netherlands, and we have a website. It's called Netherlands Coding Live. NetherlandsCodingLive.github.io. Here you can find live coding events in the Netherlands. So could be concerts. Sometimes there's meetups. There's actually a workshop happening today as well in Eindhoven. With the Hydra language that I just showed for visuals. It's happening as we speak. So those types of things, if you're interested in learning, or if you're just interested in joining one of the concerts, then make sure to check out this website. There's more things coming up. For example, 19 September in Eindhoven, there's a workshop, and there's also a so-called Algo Rave, which is a concert evening with just algorithmic electronic dance music mainly. Yeah. All right, then let's leave it at that for now.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Welcome.
I hope it came across on the stream. I'm gonna watch later.
Yeah. We're gonna check it out. It's already live.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Cheers. serieus of jij?
Weet je mag stoppen? Ja. Ja, kunnen we veilig vrijheid praten?
Yes!